Sewing some stuff. Well, I checked on Jordi's channel and there was an interview between him and Aunt Tammy from Amberlynn's family tree. So before the interview even started, because they were having some technical difficulties, Amber went live and she started calling her aunt mentally unwell. Uh, said the one who has BPD undiagnosed and also probably narcissist personality disorder, also undiagnosed by a professional and untreated. You call mentally unwell another person. Uh huh. Uh huh. Tell me more. See you next Tuesday, lady. So, first of all, Aunt Tammy declared that she has been clean without any medication for years and she's been counseling for 16 years of life, which is not little to think. But Amber, you haven't been in counseling for even 16 days. You are undiagnosed and untreated, so shut up and let her speak. Okay? She kept going, defending her role as trying to be a good influence kind of family member because her mother, Amber's mother, I mean, was in a very bad place a few years ago. Amber still, well, you know how Amber is. And Aunt Tammy tried to make her, Amber, being a better person, a better version of herself, diet, exercise, how to save money, how to become an adult for 13 years, as she would say. But she's also said that um, this lady, MAMALYNN, and also Amber, did very wrong to Aunt Tammy a few years ago, 2 years ago. I do not have any context, so please give me some in the comments. Please and thank you. I'm just summarizing this interview because holy wow. Right now, she's speaking about Amber's past. She had a very nice experience at foster homes because their foster parents were, I would call them fancy. Not everyone in my country has a pool. Let's call it that way, okay? And she was bad mouthing each and every single one of her houses, family members, to her girlfriends, and on the mambo jumbo about Aunt Tammy and any other. Yes, we know Amberlynn had a very bad childhood, but she she had it good. Um, you know, when when you are in foster homes, you can have anything from an awful kind of place to a quite decent. Okay, I used to be a tutor to this boy who was in a foster home, and let me tell you, he had it rough. He had it very rough. He was a very sweet boy, but he didn't have the best childhood. Neither him or his sister. They were two siblings, and I can tell you they were not swimming in anyone's pool, cause no. But Aunt Tammy was very brave in this interview. Let's keep going. She said about her sister, who went to jail because, in a drunken fit of rage, she strangled her own mother. And, well, I wonder, Amber, if you are calling your aunt mentally unstable because of this, or you're aiming your rage at someone who's not guilty. Oh my goodness. You should watch this interview because I'm reading, pausing, and taking, giving you a summarized version of it. And Aunt Tammy is saying a lot of things. Like, Amber never wrote her mother when Mamalyn was in prison. And when Mamalyn was a homeless person, this Aunt Tammy was yelling on the top of her lungs in very dark neighborhoods to where is her sister, trying to look for her. She was trying to look for her sister way more than Amber was trying to look for Rarity, don't you think? Hey, everyone? So, when Mama Lynn had a break from jail or something, or where she came back from jail, Amber was visiting on Tammy, and since her mother was around, she tried to be smart on her aunt. But it was her aunt's roof, so they played too smart and then they got kicked out. and they had to be taken by Amber's grandma, the one who was strangled by MAMALYNN, and they started on YouTube. But a 2 week vacation that was supposed to be 2 weeks, it ended up being more, and then the grandma kicked them both out because you know what would happen. Oh goodness gracious! Remembering one of the latest blogs Amberlynn did, she was speaking to her grandma, and they were remembering some stuff from Amber's childhood, the mother, the grandmother, and Amberlynn themselves. I imagine the grandma right now is good with them both, but things were not that peachy that back then. No one gave an apartment to this woman, to Mamalyn, but everyone expected her to do that, Amberlynn included. But she would never open her own home for her mother. But she expected her own to do to do the thing. And even so, Aunt Tammy was not good enough for Amber to be speaking with, even though she moved to Oklahoma. Mama Lynn went clean, and it was everything Aunt Tammy was dreaming of. She had to still check Amber's apartment for her. Oh, that is good enough. And there was something new. Eric and Ricky visited Amber in said apartment, and she called her aunt. No questions asked. Hey, you going to visit? These two people are here. And she said, No, I cannot. I have a job. And last time she heard from her niece. Uh huh. Amber, you're a horrible human being, don't you think? And I think this is a critical moment that will put Mama Lynn in a very bad spotlight because she was defending Emily. She was saying, "Oh, but she's so sweet. She brought us this. She brought us that. She rented a jeep." And Aunt Tammy had to be the voice of reason because you know how the cookie crumbles. And she said, "But this is not good for your daughter. Do you know what happens to the last wife of this person? To call her something." She died because of obesity related complications because she was fed to death. She was a death feeder. We've been known this for years. Well, not for years, but for months. Since I don't know how long. I reached out in October last year, maybe, and they people knew their FedLife account. Right now, the Tumblr was found as well. Aunt Tammy was right. Mama Lynn, why are you defending a feeder that can end your daughter? What are you doing, pal? What are you doing? Next, Amberlynn, don't you know that Aunt Tammy has been fighting for you? And now you call her mentally unwell. We can say the same to you, don't you think? Because you, unlike Tammy, are undiagnosed and untreated for your conditions, the ones you say you have, because since they are not diagnosed, because you're too lazy to do that. Aunt Tammy said she was still believing in you, in your potential, on your capacity to change, to improve your life. She wanted you to be on her wedding day, and you were not there. She's been married for 10 years, she said. No, for 3 years, but she's been on dating this man, her husband, for 13 years, but she's been married to him for three. And she never gave up on you. Do you know how hard that is? Can you ask any of your imaginary friends? Because we know you do not have friends. How many times their parents told them, Hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, maybe your mother won't say that, but your aunt will lovingly tell you that if you improve, if you do the right thing. Uh, I don't know how many people in the audience will say, "Hey, my parents told me they were proud of me" or something. Because I don't think that many. Do you know how privileged you are? Do you know it? You could not be on your aunt's wedding, but you could be in Oklahoma, you could be in Wisconsin, you could be here, you could be there. Uh huh. You left her on the friggin' altar. You did that to your aunt, the one who put a roof over your head. when nobody else would. Because your grandma kicked you out for a reason. And you know what that reason is. And, well, you know also what the reason reality was missing, don't you think? Eh? Eh? But you will never speak about that. Another important thing would be Amber in the Sprite Zero live stream, the one this screenshot is about. She was, oh, Sprite Zero. Yeah. She also said she went to a Chinese buffet, but also after a 2 hour card playing game with her grandma, her mother, her boyfriend's mother, and I don't know who else. But you cannot go anywhere, but then you go to a Chinese buffet, and then you try to make yourself a healthy queen with Sprite Zero after a Chinese buffet. I have no words. Then the entitlement. I don't think we have in Spanish a word for entitlement. I don't think we have right now. But in English you have it, and it's a good word. At least you have that concept. She also called out Amberlynn on her bullshit about the work she had with Destiny at elderly homes. That Destiny was working full-time job while Amber was just sitting on her ass and doing nothing. And then Aunt Tammy was on Weight Watchers and she was reporting every single meal and how many points to Amber, trying to teach her how to do the right thing, but she never heed her lecture. And Aunt Tammy said she was blackmailed by Amber. That's why Amber is trying to call her mentally unwell or something. Yeah, sure. Because you blackmailed your own aunt. Aunt Tammy was in a very bad relationship with her ex husband, and even though she wanted to be keeping her vows, okay, her husband was not doing that. If you are a bad husband, you do not deserve a wife. That's it. That's how it goes. And Aunt Tammy had an affair. She fell in love with another man at a karaoke. And one time she brought her sister, MAMALYNN, to set karaoke. And she told her, "Yes, I'm going to have to speak to my husband about this because I'm falling in love with him," and all of that. And it was all going great until Amber got the info. What did she do? She blackmailed her own aunt. That's why you wanted to nullify her words. That's why, before her own interview. You Anytime I think you cannot go lower, your gravitational pull gets stronger. I need more physics books on my library to study how in the world this is possible. And I am doing my hardest not to swear, but I want to. I want to very much. You blackmail your aunt into telling her husband, so her ex-husband. But now she was like, "Jokes on you, I already told him." But she was under so much stress that she had some health problems. You contributed. She had very, very bad therapy after her problems. She had this paralysis in half of her body. She had to learn how to speak again. She had to learn how to walk again and all that jazz. And you contributed to it. She said it was in 2011. If you are in 2025 being 34 years old, in 2011, you were on your 20s, early 20s, and you were already doing these sick things. You make me sick to my core, Amber, and many others. You deserve each and every single hate comment you receive. Because of your actions, you are rot to the core, like a rotten apple, rotting in the sun. Aunt Tammy, maybe she's not a saint and she's only having her version of the story, but if she can prove everything she has, and she says she has 13 years of messages, you're quite doomed, okay? How does it feel when your girlfriend or ex girlfriend is speaking to Snowflake and then Aunt Tammy is speaking to Jordy? Please go to Jordy's channel and check the live stream. Oh my goodness, sorry. It was great. It was astonishing to me. I don't have the vocabulary in English enough to speak how surprised I was. My jaw was on the floor, and I had to pick it up piece by piece with every single tooth. Oh my goodness! Also, we got the truth about Uncle Bumpy. Yay! The best side character in the world, even though we've never seen him. But he was Aunt Tammy's father, best friend, and he was so close to their family that he was called Uncle Bumpy by the kids. So yeah, that is the truth. I am going to put it on the title because Uncle Bumpy deserves it. Ooh, I just heard. So Mama Lynn is still married to her Reed, the Reid father, and the one who mistreated her so badly. She is still married to that man, even though she has made a new life with another man. The one Amber calls stepdad, and she's still married to George Reed. I think is his name. Why, Mama Lynn? What are you doing, pal? From the like daughter, like mother. Why you keep being with bad people? Please stop endorsing people who are not the greatest. Please, and the audience, hit this. Do not spend your time with people who do not deserve it. Please. Oh goodness, I don't know what to say. And this interview just keeps going about the stepdad of Amber right now. Aunt Tammy has very good words for him. She's saying he's a very laid back kind of guy. He's very hardworking, and he's just a normal guy who likes to chill out and play some bingo at the end of the day. Her words, not mine. So, but Mama Lynn is never going to marry him because she says, "I am married. I am married," which is quite sad because why are you dating him if you're saying, "No, no, I'm married. You are just the other guy, the guy I told my husband not to worry about." Girl, what are you doing? I insist. Mother like daughter, you are doing what? You're doing what? Being a cheater on your ex-husband? Well, not your ex-husband, but you know what I mean. You being a cheater, and then your daughter becomes a cheater on other people. Mama Lynn, I thought you were better than this. Aunt Tammy thinks Amber loves her animals, and she had a very interesting thing with Wasabi. Aunt Tammy wanted that name to be her cat's name, but Amber was faster for once in her life. Oh, goodness. That was good. But when Jordi asked her about Rarity, she's like, I don't think she would. I don't think she would leave Rarity in that weather back then, but when I watch some crime shows, you always get confused. I think she's right, but she still wanted to be with the witch of Hansel and Gretel and be fed to her grave, because to an early grave, because she is 34 years old. Do not lose that focus. And Mama Lynn, as we all were expecting, yes, she's only trying to appease Amber and be a good mother because she felt the consequences of her actions, let's call it that way. And she knows that she did wrong to her kids. She's going sober for quite a long time right now, and she's trying to be a good role model for her sons who are still addicted to substances. And her daughter, too, being her substance food, junk food, in fact. I understand because I also have a bad past with that. My mother was not the greatest, in the same way as Mama Lynn's was. I am not going to disclose or anything else, but AMBERLYNN, we had very bad cards in our life. I wish I had such an opportunity to be with such an aunt. Maybe she was not the best. Maybe she was not. We only have her part of the story. But I repeat, If she has 13 years of messages, she can prove anything. Because in 13 years, you've been speaking about everything, about every topic in the world. And we have proved you, we have seen you live for years, for many years. And Mama Lynn, it seems she was very greedy when she was younger, because she wanted all the heirloom from her father to herself, not counting with her own sister. Her sister was having a nice place with her husband. She was having, a new life. And she said, don't worry, if she wants to buy the other half of the house, she can do it on her own times, on her own deal. Because at that time, Mama Lynn had it very rough to secure one job. She had it very rough. And right now, she's been 10 years with the same job, 10 years with the same relationship, a stable life now, recovered, and she was very happy for her sister. Thing is, Mama Lynn was greedy, and I understand because my mother used to be the same, and I think she still is. But I know what the greed does to people. I know, I know that very well. And when you have an addicted person with greed, I know what happens, and you have to cut them off as soon as possible. It doesn't matter who they are. They are your sibling, they are your mom, your pop, your son, your daughter. Yeah, to cut them off. I understand Emily wants to repair her mistakes with Amber, but this is not worth it. You have messed up before. Please do not mess up now. Do not. Just try to be a good role model for your daughter. The same way your sister tried to be. Maybe she was envious. She was jealous of her sister. Probably. Because she was like, oh, well, I'm addicted to this stuff. My sister is having everything handed to her. She's going to this California fancy state. She's having a husband. She's having a nice job. But right now, uh, on time he said Mamalyn had it very nice money because she had a good paying job. Maybe I have no idea, no details. But the situation is different. And if she wanted right now the whole heirloom, she could pay the half of the house. But maybe that's why they don't talk anymore. Probably. I would see it that way. So Mama Lynn like the mother like daughter. Yeah, we know. And Aunt Tammy is trying to watch some reaction channels who would take an interview with her so she could burn the bridge. Because she's done. She's utterly done and we can tell, okay? Amber is furious and Mama Lynn is furious too, and they've been zero contact for 2 years. Oh, guess who's trying to contact her now? Oh, to make her shut up. Oh, no manipulation here. No, no. Come on, Amber. Come on, Mama Lynn. And Mama Lynn, some people have faith in you. I know the uncle tried to be very good to you. The uncle, the reaction channel. I never had faith in you because I know what being the daughter of a drug addict is, and it is not good. I don't believe people like that can change. I do not, because I have the experience, and if I say a thing or two, it's because I've lived a thing or two. I knew you wouldn't change, and if you want to have the soul heirloom to yourself, I know you're greedy, and I didn't ever knew you would be generous. You're only trying to save face because Amber is your daughter and you're trying to do the right thing but for her, but you are not doing the right thing. You're only enabling her. And if you keep enabling her, there is a word for people who lose their parents. It is called orphan. But there is no word to describe a parent who has lost a child. If you ever watch this video, I hope you think about it. What would be to lose your own daughter? Aunt Tammy also said she met Jade. Oh my, she met the Jade. And Amber said she was a horrible person, she was this, she was that. But after Jade left, nothing was said. She doesn't know what's happening with her girlfriends, but it's very weird that each and every single one had the same thing to say about her. So, anyways, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and See you tomorrow. Love you, every single one of you.